for staying with us. Let's get you a quick weather update. Chennai has been juggling through hot, sunny, scorchy days and wet spells in the past few days. But as of now, looks like the rain gods have a liking towards the weekends. The Met Department today predicted that there will be scanty rainfall for the next 48 hours along a few parts of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. The highest rainfall recorded so far is 44 centimeters. That's across 4 places here in Tamil Nadu.
Yesterday's trough of low pressure extending from Comorin area to Bay of North Tamil Nadu coast is lying only off Sri Lanka coast in Comorin area. Because of this trough, it has rained at few places in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. The highest rainfall recorded is 4 centimeters, recorded at Cheyur, Marakanam, Rameswaram and Mulanu. As far as forecast for next 24 hours is concerned, it is likely to rain at many places in the south coastal districts and at 1 or 2 places in the rest Tamil Nadu and Puducherry.
Moving on, Self-Help Organization for the Visually Challenged Netrodaya conducted an RTI workshop in order to create an awareness of their rights among them. They believe that the RTI Act will help the community fight for their rights against corrupt officers and will help them understand the functioning of the government in a bid to usher transparency in the bureaucracy. They hope that corruption during job opportunities in particular would also be addressed during such training.
உதாரணத்துக்கு இப்போ ஒரு அரசு நிர்வாகத்தில் ஒரு பணி வேலை வாய்ப்பு அறிவிப்பு வெளியிடுறாங்கன்னா அதில் வந்து மாற்றுத்திறனாளிக்கு ஒரு காலம் ஒதுக்கி அதில் எத்தனை சதவீதம் பேருக்கு வந்து வேலை தராங்க அப்படின்றத வந்து அவங்க அறிவிப்பாக வெளியிடணும்னு சொல்லி PWD Act 1995 வந்து சொல்லுது. ஆனால் பல அறிவிப்புகளில் அப்படி இல்லை. கடந்த 5 ஆண்டுகளில் பார்க்கும்போது சுமார் 4 லட்சம் பதவிகள் வந்து போட்டிருக்காங்க. அதில் வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 10-12,000 பதவிகள் வந்து அறிவிப்பே இல்லாமல் எந்த ஒரு ஆடம்பரமும் இல்லாமல் அமைதியாக முடிஞ்சிடுச்சு. அதில் ஒரு மாற்றுத்திறனாளி கூட பணிக்கு போகலை அப்படின்ற நிலை இன்றைக்கி இருக்குது. இதுக்கு காரணம் வந்து இந்த அரசு அதிகாரிங்க தான். அவங்களுக்கு வந்து சட்டத்தை அமலாக்குற பணி இருந்தும் அதை கேட்குறதுக்கு ஆள் இல்லாததுனால அவங்க வந்து தன் போக்கில் வந்து அந்த பதவிகளை வந்து ஃபில் பண்ணிடுறாங்க.
Let's get you some national news now. The Central Bureau of Investigation today registered a fresh case in connection with the alleged irregularities in spectrum allocation during late Pramod Mahajan's tenure as Telecom Minister. Teams conducted searches at the offices of Vodafone in Mumbai and Delhi and Airtel in Gurgaon and also at residences of ex-Telecom Secretary Shyamal Ghosh and Gupta. The raids come in the backdrop of the Supreme Court's direction to the CBI to investigate the allocation of 2G spectrum before the tenure of former Telecom Minister A. Raja, who is the alleged mastermind of the scam. The CBI's charge is that during Pramod Mahajan's tenure, Ghosh and other telecom officials gave additional spectrum at low revenue shares to Bharti Airtel and Vodafone. And reacting to the CBI raids, Airtel and Vodafone have issued statements clarifying that the spectrum was allocated to them as per government rules and regulations and that all their documents were in place. The two telecom companies have said that they are cooperating fully with the investigation. Staying with the national buzz, the much-anticipated Land Acquisition Resettlement and Rehabilitation Bill is not listed for a debate in the Parliament beginning next week, despite Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's intensive campaign on the issue. How will this play out in battleground Uttar Pradesh? An NDTV exclusive.
4 months after he made the UP farmers' anti-land acquisition battle the lead motive of his high-pitched Padyatra, we head into the stormy winter session of the Parliament, and it's time to ask what Rahul Gandhi has done about this crucial bill. NDTV finds in his final push to the bill, Rahul has incorporated 4 critical suggestions. First, fuse the land acquisition bill and the rehabilitation and resettlement bill into one, because they are intricately related issues, a suggestion that emerged from Sonia Gandhi's National Advisory Council. Second, Rahul suggests land has to be used for the purpose it is bought for. Single biggest complaint of farmers, that land is bought for public purpose and then sold off to real estate developers who make huge profits. Thirdly, give farmers a share in the appreciated prices of land and compensate not just the landowners but all others like labourers who lose livelihood.
By the way, that's another one of Mr. Gandhi's ideas. That what he had asked the Prime Minister was, instead of going 2 bills, the land acquisition bill and the R&R bill, why don't we bring them together?
Samajwadi Party's heir apparent Akhilesh Yadav calls it a political stunt.
कांग्रेस की जहाँ सरकारें आंध्र प्रदेश में लाठी किसानों पड़ रही कि नहीं पड़ रही?
The BSP says their land policy is far better.
मैं समझता हूँ सियासी स्टंट है और उत्तर प्रदेश में हमारी मुख्यमंत्री मायावती जी ने भूमि अधिग्रहण नीति एक तैयार कर ली थी। वो ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिकल पर्पस के लिए और किसानों को फायदा पहुंचाने के लिए बिल्कुल सही है।
BSP, SP, BJP are all armed with the Jaitapur question. The government is also facing huge pressure from the private developers lobby. It's Mayawati versus Rahul Gandhi in battleground Uttar Pradesh. Congress's idea was to score political points out of Rahul Gandhi's Padyatra in Bhatta Parsol and making land acquisition as his own issue before the battle in UP began. But with the Parliamentary Standing Committee making it clear that it's too short a time for them to study this complex bill and file their report, that seems highly unlikely. So how much would Rahul Gandhi's political exercise translate into votes? All eyes on battleground UP. Reporting from the capital with Devan Singh, Anchal Vora, NDTV.
When we come back, which of these Khans will hit the jackpot this Christmas? Tough answer? We'll find out when we come back.